I am giving you put up there, watch it. Jesus Christ is in the air. You love it tonight, the mighty man of God. Somebody big up Jesus.
Good night to you, Grenada, Carriacou, and Petit Martinique. Once again, it is time for Talking Points. My name is Sheldon Scott. I'll be here with you until the 10 o'clock hour. It's now 8 minutes after the hour of 8 o'clock on the spine side of Grenada. It's a beautiful night on the spice. This is the dancing section, yeah? One of my favorite artists out of Jamaica, yeah? A guy by the name of Kukudu. Good night to you, Marilyn. Good night to the listeners via 91.9, 91.5 Real FM. And of course, it's Monday night. We're going to open the phone lines early up, huh? Don't be a stranger. Dial the numbers. We've got quite a few issues we're going to go over tonight. It is a Monday night. Realized there was a press conference by the Royal Grenada Police Force earlier today. I kind of knew when it was nearly done already, so... 4407377 347-329-3101. Those are the numbers for you to call and get onto the inside. I can't wait until the NNP gospel concert later in the year, you know. You might have to move that one up for me, you know. Yeah, I find that one a little too far down. You might have to have two, you know. Yeah, we could have one in the first half of the year and one in the second half. I tell you all, I could be the official DJ, you know. Yeah, DJ. Good night to the listeners via We Noise Radio. Good night to you, Wade. Good night to the entire home circle. Everybody, good night to the listeners on and viewers on Facebook and YouTube. Folks, remember some of the activities coming up.
Make some noise to Jesus.
So on the 30th of June, you have the elderly bus ride that's going to be taking place island-wide. Sunday, the 14th of July, there's going to be that massive bingo in Victoria Park, Grenville. You can win a car and cash. You might just be lucky to win the car and some cash, so you could put some gas in the car, especially if the price over $15. You know the thing going these days.
Well, make some nice, man.
And then the 28th of July, there's going to be the gathering. That's the cookout that's going to be taking place out there in Alston George Park. Saturday, the 10th of August, you're going to be having the Carnival Fete at the new National Party Secretariat grounds. That's out here in Tempe. Thursday, the 15th of August, you're going to be hearing more about the Back to School Drive. Sunday, the 3rd of November, we're heading to Carriacou. It's going to be the fundraiser boat ride heading up. So make sure you put your things together for that from now. That's the 3rd of November. And there's going to be the memorial service for fallen brother, the Honorable Elvin Nimrod, deceased. Sunday, the 24th of November, you're going to be having the Praise and Gospel concert. Then there's going to be the banquet on the 30th of November. So quite a bit of activities coming up by the new National Party as we celebrate 40 years as the nation's #1 political organization. Yeah, the #1, man. Yeah. We ain't guessing that. We only know that for a fact. Yeah.
About 4 young ladies. Yeah, 4 young men bad like, you know. And we was the kings and shepherds.
So yes, okay, right, okay. I'm trying to behave now. Yes, indeed, folks. So this afternoon, there was a press conference by the Royal Grenada Police Force. I know that Superintendent Issa Pear did give quite a comprehensive bit of information in relation to various aspects of what has been taking place with the crime situation over the past few weeks and months and what has been taking place and so. And also gave some figures in relation to the murder figures for 2024. So far for the year 2024, we've had 9 murders, and we are in May. We've had 9 murders for the year 2024, and with all due credit to the Royal Grenada Police Force, they have solved 100% of them. So they know exactly who the perpetrators are. They've made arrests in all 9 cases. For 2023, in fact, you know what? You know, sometimes I just be saying things, it's better to play it. Let me let the man say thing for himself. Eh? Yeah, and I come in and say the thing. Let's Superintendent is up here, talk to you all for himself. Yeah? Nice. We got that man. Right. So we learn Superintendent Pierre talk for himself there. Let me see if I could bring him up there and thing. Nice. Let Superintendent talk for himself there.
Just want to also point out that the total number of homicide for 2023 had been 18. With 16 being murders and 4 of which were unsolved. To date, we have recorded 9 homicides, 8 of which were murders, and would like to point out that all has been solved.
Yes, indeed, folks. So we have to give some congratulations to Superintendent Issa Pear and the men and women of the Royal Grenada Police Force on the excellent job that they have been doing. Yeah? So far, for the year, 9 murders. You know, other police forces around the world, they can't talk them kind of thing there. You know? Yeah, seriously. Other police forces, other part of the world, can't have them kind of conversation there. Talking about 100% rate of solving these crimes and so on. Yeah? But if we have 9 already and we just had the 5th month of the year, we're not even at the halfway point and you had 18 last year. Let's hope people behave themselves for the rest of the year. And then you look at the nature of the murders that you see occurring during last year and this year, and you realize that quite a few are actually by the gun. This is not something that we are accustomed to. You might have people use a cutlass or they use a knife or different things like that, even a piece of wood. But guns are not something that we are accustomed having this volume. The last time you had that volume of people dying by the gun was the year 1983 and the month of October. That's the last time we had that kind of thing. But this volume that we're seeing now, indeed, it requires urgent action. And now, while the police are doing part of the job, Superintendent Pear and his men and women, they are doing their part. they are finding the alleged perpetrators, because as it is right now, nobody has gone to court and been found guilty. As far as it is right now, these are the people who it is alleged by the Royal Grenada Police Force have committed these crimes, and that will be tested in a court of law. So right now, I know in some of the cases, there's the preliminary inquiry, which tests whether there's enough information, whether there's enough evidence to carry that case now to the High Court, to carry it to a full case. So right now, you have preliminary inquiries taking place in relation to most of those murders, and so to find out if there's enough to really bring a case in the High Court and so on, a High Court matter in relation to these issues. Now, the same goes with some of the cases. Well, some of the cases from 2018, yes, you have the people who are alleged to have committed those crimes, and now you have to move forward in finding and making sure that the process in the courts goes as it should, so that if these people are guilty, that they are found guilty and they pay the price. Nice? Yeah. So that is where they're at right now. Want to congratulate the Royal Grenada Police Force for the job that they've been doing. What we do need to say on this matter, though, is that we've gotten to the stage of 9 murders in Grenada. This is not the kind of thing that we are accustomed hearing about in our country. 9 maybe in a year. 9 maybe in 2 years. But 9 so far for the year. And we hope that there are no more. Yeah? But while this is the situation, there has to be a focus not just on solving them when they happen. There has to be a focus on prevention. So there are allegations by the Royal Grenada Police Force in relation to what has caused the latest round of murders that have taken place. So we have to see a concerted effort by not just the Royal Grenada Police Force, all arms of government, the public, non-governmental organizations, the church organizations, etc., to ensure that it stays at 9, that it doesn't go to 10, 11, and we don't want to hear that. We don't want it reaching to double figures. It's at 9. Let's see how we could get it to stay at 9. So everybody, me included, you included, even if you're not in Grenada, you have a part to play. Because sometimes some people feel, well, okay, I'm not in Grenada, that's for them down there to handle. No, you have a part to play. That phone call that you may make to a relative, that phone call you may make to a young relative who is running wild and so on, may be just what they need to hear to bring them back onto the right path. Yeah? Sometimes it's not just sending the assistance and sending the barrel and sending the money and that sort of thing. Sometimes you have to talk to them too. Because sometimes they get so materialistic. Yes, they need that sneakers and they need that jeans and they need that top and this and that and the other. And they get it because mommy or daddy or auntie or whoever is outside and they send it. So they keep focusing on that instead of developing themselves, their brain. Yeah? So those of you who are outside of Grenada, I'm not saying don't send things. Yeah, you can continue doing that, but have conversations with your relatives down here. Not just the young ones. We keep saying the young ones, the young ones, the young ones. It's not just the young ones. It's not just the teenagers and those in the 20s and the 30s. Yeah? Those of us in our 40s. Even elder. So have conversations with your relatives down here. Even if you're not on the island, you have a contribution that you can make towards keeping Grenada safe as well. Yeah? So note that and make sure that when the time comes, that you are doing what is necessary to help keep Grenada safe. I always say, and I'll continue to say, I still believe that Grenada is the safest place in the Caribbean and the best place in the world. Yeah? If not the safest in the world too. But we're the safest and the best. Yeah, nobody have beaches nice as us and people nice as us. Alright? So we have to try and keep it that way. Each of us have a part to play. So kudos to the Royal Grenada Police Force for ensuring that they got all the cases for the year so far, that they've gotten people who they have alleged are the perpetrators of those cases. Kudos to them. Yeah, that will be tested in court to find out if they're the right person or the wrong person. Right? I wouldn't know if they're the right person or the wrong person because I am me involved in them thing. The court will test that. Right? 4407377. And also there was a question, for some reason I don't have that clip with me tonight, But there was the question that was asked in relation to the gun amnesty. And the response was that, yes, firearms have been turned in under the amnesty. Firearms and ammunition have been turned in, but they won't give a figure until the end of July in relation to that. Yeah, so they have said that they will not provide information in relation to the figures as to how much until the end of July. Nice, yeah, that's when they're going to give the information in relation to how much has been taken in.
$5 million worth of.
Right, so sorry, I just brought up one of the things there. They also spoke of some, and let me just play that bit for you all. Yeah, let me just play that bit as I started it already, because he gave a report on some of the other achievements that the police have for the year 2024 thus far. So let's just listen in.
These incidents can have on our peace and tranquility, and alluded to the fact that the RGPF takes this extremely seriously, as it's not the nature and the image one wants to portray of Grenada. To date, I can report the following successes and posture by your force. We continue a continued and ongoing assessment of our policing strategy to ensure its adequacy in effectively responding to the current realities. Thereby, we have implemented a more robust approach that includes increased patrols, searches, and vehicle checkpoints. The strengthening of the Royal Grenada Police Force intelligence infrastructure to allow for the increased and organized collection of information and a more effective and efficient dissemination of actionable intelligence. Greater attention to the issue of drug interdiction, seizures. The total, I can attest that the total for this year, in terms of the RGPF seizures of drugs, for last year, that is, sorry, had a street value of over $3.5 million. And this was the total for 2024. To date, we have sold past $5 million worth of drug seizures. Greater attention to interdiction and seizures of firearm, and the total for this year thus far is over 25 firearm being seized. Some significant seizures and arrest information will be outlined by Corporal Coutin in a short while.
Yes, indeed, folks. And I want to find out something still, though. We've heard and we keep hearing the figures for the number of firearms for 2024. Considering there were containers that come in with several firearms in them in the year 2023, considering that, I am very, very interested in knowing how many firearms were intercepted in the year 2023. Because we heard recently that the individual who was involved in that particular issue, that they were basically set free, that was the end of that. The case was thrown out or whatever, or dismissed or stopped or whatever took place. Yeah. So I don't know. We need to hear. And I'm surprised none of the journalists asked that particular question in relation to what took place, how many firearms were intercepted, yeah, in the year 2023. I'm very interested in knowing that figure. And especially in that one particular case, how many firearms were involved? How many firearms was that one person bringing into Grenada? and what type of firearms were they bringing into Grenada and so on. These are information we need to know. Especially since government, one of the things that they are going to Parliament with next week, at next week's Parliament sitting, is that they will be going with an updated Firearms Act, where they are going to be increasing some of the penalties and changing various aspects of the Firearms Act here in Grenada, that the act that guides the buying or the making or the owning or so on of a firearm. They will be adjusting it in several ways. Recently, we saw the very same happening in St. Kitts. And I need to take a close look at what is happening in St. Kitts, because we have firearm amnesty. St. Kitts have firearm amnesty. Theirs for 2 weeks. Theirs is 2 weeks. Ours is 90 days. St. Kitts, with all the murders they are having, they had a 2-week, I think it should be ended now, 2-week firearm amnesty. They have also brought to Parliament legislation changing the penalties and amending the penalties in relation to the Firearm Act and so on. And if a person is found with an illegal firearm or manufacturing firearms or so on, and all the things related to that, what the penalties are, they have changed that and so in their law in St. Kitts. I realize that a lot of things are taking place in St. Kitts, taking place in Grenada. So they mirror in each other. So I don't know what it is between St. Kitts, St. Lucia, and Grenada, but I'm seeing a lot of stuff that happening in St. Kitts being duplicated in Grenada and vice versa. And also St. Lucia falls into the loop every now and again. This week, for instance, we need to have an extensive conversation again on CBI, because there are various developments that we need to speak about. Yeah? They had the CBI conference. I'm still waiting to see, well, at least some sort of the Prime Minister's presentation or some sort of thing. But I recognize now that you're looking online and there's nothing there in relation to the presentation by the Prime Minister and the presentation by others and so on at the forum. I want to know what was said. So I'm looking forward to seeing that and so on. I want to know. Yeah. Yeah, that is the show tomorrow night. Tomorrow night we having yeah. That is the whole show tomorrow night, my brother. That is the breaking news. Yeah. Folks, before the show ends tonight, I'll tell you what the breaking news is, because we're going to be discussing it intensely tomorrow. Tomorrow, Talking Tuesdays, we're setting aside having a guest for once on Talking Tuesdays. Well, not once, we did it before. We're setting aside having a guest. In fact, we may end up having a guest. And we're going to have an extensive discussion. Yeah, an extensive discussion. Yeah, in relation to what I'm about to tell you. Folks, this is official. With time running out, the board of directors of the Grenada Invitational took the painful decision at a meeting late Monday the 27th to cancel the 2024 Grenada Invitational, as well as round up for good the franchise and brand that is the Grenada Invitational. Tomorrow night program, tune in early. I have a lot to say about that. I have a lot to say. I ain't saying it tonight. No, not tonight. Tonight is not for that. I have a lot to say tomorrow night. Yeah? The Grenada Invitational, that is the games that brought international athletes that nobody ever thought they would have seen in Grenada. They came to Grenada through the Grenada Invitationals. Nobody thought they would have sit down in the stadium in Grenada and see Shelly. Not the Shelly. Shelly and Fraser Price and them running in Grenada. Nobody thought they'd come and see that. That gave an opportunity. In fact, our own Karani James was supposed to be running in Grenada next week in the Grenada Invitationals. Our own Anderson Peters was supposed to be in the Invitationals next week, along with Kurt Felix and the others. Anyway, tomorrow night. Yeah, tomorrow night program. I could put up the artwork tonight. Just know tomorrow night program, we talking Grenada Invitationals. Yeah, I'm telling all you from now. Right? And I might be calling on people like Honorable Emlyn Pierre. I know that you're listening if you have time. I know usually you're in a meeting, you're in this, you're in that, you're in the community, wherever. But Honorable Emlyn Pierre, are talking Grenada Invitationals tomorrow night. And me and you, we go have a conversation on it for part of the program tomorrow night too. Nice. Right. I send in my message now. Wherever you are, you're going to take the time and we're going to have that conversation. Yes, I'm serious. There's a release that just came out by the Grenada Invitational, cancelling the Grenada Invitational and also closing down the franchise. So there will never be a Grenada Invitational again. That's the end of it. All right. But as I said, tomorrow night, more conversation in relation to that. We ain't talking tonight. We ain't talking tonight. Yes, pong them like lambi. Say if you stew lambi with a piece of pawpaw and all them kind of thing, it'll soften it a little bit more. Anyway, right? So we go deal with that one. But anyway, so we are speaking about what is taking place with the Royal Grenada Police Force. They've intercepted several firearms for the year. They've also said that they have received some under the amnesty that is taking place. We want to congratulate them for that. Again, we're still calling on this administration to look at the possibility of remuneration on a continuous basis for people that provide information in relation to firearms. It doesn't have to be a one-off. It doesn't have to be, yes, I will pong them like, oh, everybody's saying pong them like lambi. Oh, don't worry, it's me. Watch, I'm taking a shave just to come and talk tomorrow night. I'm taking a shave. I don't want the hair block nothing that I had to say. I'm taking a clean shave. Nathan, I'll check you later. Right, folks. Folks, the phone lines are open, 440-737, 347-329-3101. Those are the numbers for you to call and get onto the inside, folks. Now, I remember, and there's a caller online. Let's go to the phone line. Hello, good night. Hi, good night, caller. You go right ahead. Hello? Hello? Hi, caller, go right ahead. You're live. Okay, that person may have changed your mind. Folks, remember to listen to the phone line. I was hearing the stuff in the back. Remember, you're supposed to take that off totally and listen to me on the phone line itself. So remember to take the volume off of whatever is in the background, because believe it or not, we want to hear what it is you have to say. We don't want you call and miss the opportunity to be able to speak, expand on, or even disagree on an issue. We want you to have the opportunity to do that. So when you call, remember to lower whatever device you've got in the background. Let's go back to the phone line. Hello, good night. Hi, good night, caller.
Hey, good night.
Yes, sir. Yeah, man. You're listening thing in the background, man.
Yeah,
go ahead.
yeah.
Talk to me on the phone. Go right ahead, bro.
Yes, they're talking about the... speaking about the... shortly after the election in 2022 and the NDC won the election, they called a meeting in the community center and told them about the project they was in for the fixing of the drain in La Femme, and they do by the church go down to the
that's by the church at the entrance to Lightchet coming down into La Femme.
Yes.
So coming down to the bridge.
By the bookstore to the other side of the owner of the house. So they are talked to them and they tell me they would look into it, and then since after 2022 I tried to get them, I ain't get them. I see the driver of the owner of the building tried to talk to him. He tell me go check me, but he never checked me. So at the end of the day, right now the water is passing under the road, affecting the foundation of the house where I live, and I need them to come and look at it and see what they can do about it, because the water right now, whether rain or not rain, right now the people house owners, the water coming down and passing through under the concrete of the road, and that is very deep, and water going on the road.
So let me ask. It is under.
To do that, they may have to end up fixing that part of the road too.
Okay,
so I called them to for whoever in charge to, if they could meet with me and be in charge and to see what they can do about it, because they have already come and look at it under the NNP government, and they still giving trouble there. So I want them to come and take a good look at it and see what they can do, because they're supposed to widen that piece of corner there too, because the vehicles, and then sometimes they don't know, sometimes they have to reverse, and where you have a culvert, they actually block. Right on the corner. So that's all I have to say for now, and I do hope and trust that they coming down by the community center, they are supposed to put a piece of back wall there to come down to the culvert, and they didn't do it there, and then after while they're doing some work, they go to somewhere else place to grade the road to get down by their home, and they never come back and do anything.
Okay.
So I need them to come and look at the road, and because the water is passing on the road and affecting the foundation well.
Okay, my
All
brother.
right, have a good night.
All right. And folks, I'm very aware of where this caller is speaking about, and what is happening there is that it's a concrete road, but there's an issue with the drain, and now the water is coming down and it is passing under the road. It is actually eating out the concrete road itself now. It's eating out under the road, and it's popping up on the other side of the road now. So from on the one side of the road, it is bursting out on the other side of the road now, and it is damaging the foundation of his home. So he's calling, he's calling. My girl, you can't expect me to answer that now. Love you. I'll give you a call afterwards. You know you're my girl. I'll give you a call afterwards. Yeah. So it is damaging the foundation of his home. It's a serious matter. Who is the MP for St. David again? Who is the Minister of Works again? Minister of Works, MP for St. David, who in this case just happens to be one and the same person. Please go into Lafem, go down the road into Lafem there, and when you reach by the bridge, just check the house right around there. Right, you all know the voice that call. All of them know the voice that call there. Go and check, because it is damaging the foundation of his home. Yeah? Nobody would like that kind of situation happening to them. So if remedial work can be done, especially before we start getting the heavy rainfalls, before we start getting the heavy rainfalls that are expected anytime from now, is Thursday's a holiday, isn't it? Thursday is supposed to be, I believe Thursday is supposed to be Thursday is supposed to be Corpus Christi, I believe. Yeah, hopefully we get rain this Corpus Christi. The rain going now. That rain go to the bottom, he hit Trinidad. The rain go to the top, he hit St. Lucia. He watch Grenada, he say, I ain't falling there. I don't know what we do, Mr. Rain. He decide he ain't coming here. Today I'm in town, I'm looking at city place looking great. Mr. Rain just decide he ain't coming. Yeah? So I don't know what we do, Mr. Rain, but Mr. Rain have a problem with us. Folks, I need each and every one of you right now to hit the like and share button on Facebook, and hit the like button on YouTube. But here now, outside of these various things, wow, you only chucking me on Invitational. I said, not tonight. I will deal with that tomorrow. Let me put my things together for the Invitational thing now. Yeah. That news hit me there, and let me just put my thoughts together and put my things together. I want to go off the cuff on Invitationals, yeah? Let me hear something official from Invitationals people or whatever, and we go deal with Invitationals. Believe me, we go deal with Invitationals tomorrow night, I can't understand how you could lose an opportunity like that. You know, I was looking recently at the Prime Minister's Facebook page, and I saw something there. And when I saw that, I said, but wait. Because the impression that they're trying to give, and I'll play it for you, the impression that they're trying to give is this is a success story of the present administration. But let me play something here for you. And is a good young man. Right, folks? Is a positive, is a good young fella. Nice?
There's a lot of youths out there right now that finishing school and they lost their life. They don't know what to do, where to go, how to actually traverse life. There's skills that they don't even teach us in school. No money management. A lot of the youth men need money management. We need anger management. We need conflict management. You know? We need men to show us how to be fathers. A lot of us have children, but we don't really know how to be fathers on our own, how to teach, how to groom, how to grow. I mean, that is how I feel. The continuous life skills program. Like, I'm not saying that it should be mandatory, but there should be an opportunity that a young man will come and speak to somebody that's not going to judge them, not going to have them in a type of. And within that, I'm not saying all the teachers and all the facilitators will be concerned. I have Mr. Alex and I have Pastor Ricky. And they teach us how to be men. They teach us how to communicate, how to express yourself, even though we was angry at certain things, Because I will be honest with you, I used to be in the gangs, I used to be involved in a lot of, up and down and here and there and everywhere, right? And so because of the program, it's gave me a different advance, a different avenue. It kept me away from the gang violence, it kept me away from the drugs, it got me off the streets and all. And there's a lot of young men that's willing. We need that for the youth. There's a lot of youth out there right now that finish.
So let me just ask a question here, because I realize that this video is on the Prime Minister's Facebook page. Why did you all find it necessary to edit out the word empower program? Why is it? Because the individual who has been speaking there, let me let you all know, was the recipient of the Prime Minister's Award under the New National Party, under the Empower program. The same program that you hear the Honorable Kate Skeeter Lewis Peters calling for them. Kate, if you dare, give me a call, please. Kate Lewis Peters asking them, begging them, pleading with them to bring back, because this was a young man who was on the wrong path. And through the Empower program, it was able to save him and bring him around. Now you go and you tape the video with him, because he is now working as one of the main people on the project on the Carriacou with the refurbishment of the building there to house police headquarters, which in itself is another program and another discussion. We are in all good headquarters. But anyhow, to put the police headquarters. So he's one of the young men that is working there. But they tried to give the impression that this is somebody that came through a program that they're doing now, The guy spoke about his experience in the Empower program. Well, you had to cut out that. What was so dangerous? What was so vicious? What was so malicious about him using the words Empower program? Because it's obvious that this is edited. And when he's speaking about the program, he's not just speaking about the program in the air. He was speaking about the Empower program. But they decided they had to cut that out. They don't want to say it's Empower program, because then they know they are no Empower program. So it had to be under the NNP. Yeah? We have a call online. Hello, good night. Hello, good night.
Yes, the former cable and wireless building.
Yeah. We know, my friend. All right. Thank you so very much. Yeah. Yes, indeed. Yeah. Yeah, the former cable and wireless bill. I said another building. I'm sorry. But yeah. So he is working on that particular project. They take him and they put a video on the Prime Minister's Facebook page, the official Prime Minister's Facebook page of Grenada and so on. And you're trying to give the impression, they're trying to give the impression that this is a situation where he is somebody that you all work with. Listen, all you destroy the Ministry of Youth. The Ministry of Youth have competent people. The Ministry of Youth have capable people. The Ministry of Youth had proper policies and proper programs that you all just needed to take and run with. Instead of that, you all making manje papa with all the stuff that there is in the Ministry of Youth right now. The St. Lucians understand partially what I say, because I pronounce my patois wrong. So, right? But you all understand what I'm saying. These individuals are doing absolutely nothing when it comes to youth development. Absolutely nothing when it comes to the issue of youth development. Yeah? Nothing. Here they're rushing now. They're trying, because Honorable Kate Skeeter Lewis Peters, Honorable Emlyn Pierre, Senator the Honorable Norland Cox, because over the past few months, they have heard them speaking about many of the achievements of the Ministry of Youth under the New National Party. Because they have heard Mr. Royden Bihari speaking on the achievements of the ministry, and us here on Talking Points speaking about the achievements of the Ministry of Youth and Sport. that all of a sudden now they're rushing. So they had no plan. Yeah? 700 and some days gone. No plan. 100 weeks. No plan. I tend to remind folks that within the first 6 months of the new National Party returning to office, we already had 2,000 young people under a new Imani program and maintained the people who were under the Grenada Youth Upliftment Program until their time ended, and many of them ended up into the Imani program. And by the end of the first year, you had nearly 4,000 young people under the Imani program. This administration, they cannot even think of matching up a day, their whole period of time, with 1 day in what the new National Party did when it comes to youth development. So now you're trying to give the impression, why you had to edit it? Why you all have to be so dishonest that you all have to edit out the fact that he's speaking about empower and what he as an individual went through during a program and was able to develop himself? Why you all have to be so dishonest? Just play the thing as he is. So, so what? It's a program that the government of Grenada has. You all are now the government of Grenada. But you all upset because he was able to change around his life during the period of the new National Party. Come on, man. All you're sickening with that. 440-7377. That's 440-7377. That's the number for you all to call and get onto the inside of tonight's program. We've got a caller online. Hello, good night.
Yeah, whenever Sheldon.
Hey, good night, bro. Go right ahead. You're live.
Sheldon, going on 2 years, next month going to make 2 years NMP and the governance. And Sheldon, when you look into this program and policy of the government, there is no plan, nothing planned for the youth. Alright, nothing planned. I listened to the clip. When I heard that, I was asking myself a question. Where that thing what a guy talking about, it cannot be under NDC because the NDC had nothing planned for the young people. Right? There had to be something under the previous government. Because remember when the young people was behaving, the NMP administration put things in place. They put things in place to curb the crime violence that was taking place in the country. But right now, the young people, they are hopeless because the government has nothing planned. Yes, government is a continuation. Okay, if there is something good under the NMP that was taking place with the young people, okay, you use it, continue with it. We don't try to get the impression that is your plan, because we the Grenada people know that this government has no plan for the young people. Right? So allow the copycat. And they take a certain thing to give the impression that it is. I say this government is a fake government. All that they continue to do is plan and project of the previous government. Have a blessed night.
All right. Thank you so very much, my brother. 440-7377. 440-7377. And let me say this too. Why are you only messaging me on Invitational? Man, I will give a... Oh, boy. Are you joking me for that Invitational tonight, man? Are you joking me for that? No. I'll talk tomorrow night on that. Yeah, tune in tomorrow night. Yeah, I have a lot to say. Tune in tomorrow night on that one. Folks, and it is now 9 minutes to the hour of 9 o'clock on the Spice Isle of Grenada. Just your time check. Yes, folks. Now, I recognize over the period of time since this administration has come into office that we are having these delegations going out, and that the government of Grenada is not being truthful with the people of Grenada in relation to the size of these delegations and so, which are going out there. They're not being truthful. I'm telling you straight, they're not being truthful in relation to the size of the delegations that are going out there. Only this week, in fact, the Prime Minister is out of Ireland again. Right now he's in Antigua, and he is at the SIDS conference over there. And I'm seeing here they mention members of the delegation. Let me see if I can pull it up for you. As usual, right, members of the delegation. And so, let's see, members of the delegation include, why just say who all the delegation is. You don't have to say who the security officer is. That's nobody's business. But say the full delegation that gone to Antigua, because you have Honorable Decima Williams, President of the Senate for whatever reason, Honorable Karine James, Minister for Climate Resilience, the Environment and Renewable Energy, Honorable Gloria Thomas, Minister for Social Development, and Honorable E. Shea Phillip, UN Permanent Mission Ambassador and Permanent Representative to the United Nations, right? But you know that these are going right now out to these sessions, and they are going there, and each time they go, they're not mentioning some of the people. For instance, why didn't they mention that the permanent secretary out there, Miss Perron, what's her surname again? Perron is out there with them, the permanent secretary. I always remember the first name, I could never remember the surname. Yeah, but me and go to school with them, I had to remember that. But yeah, so why don't they mention that the minister boyfriend gone with her again? Because that seems to be a going thing these days, that every time a minister gone, yeah, they just go with her. Yeah, I understand, the minister does go with your boyfriend. I mean, yeah, he carrying out whatever role they say he carrying out and that kind of thing. But under the new National Party, the Honorable Emlyn Pear's husband, who is a senior police officer with years of experience and training, the NDC, the same NDC now, that don't mind that a person's significant other traveling with them, had a problem with him being in the high command of the Royal Grenada Police Force. They had a problem with that. Yeah? And a serious one at that. We have a caller online. Let's go to the phone line. Hello, good night. Go ahead. Caller. No, caller. You're supposed to lower the volume in the background. Go right ahead. Okay, no, you have to do better than that, Papa. Oh God, Papa, no. I can't sit down there and wait for you to hear when I say good night. No, I'm not gonna do that. When you call, take off the volume in the background. If you call, I want to hear what you have to say. If you call and I'm hearing me speaking in the background, I ain't going and speak to me. Yeah, that's a madman. I ain't speaking to me. You have to take the volume off in the background when you're calling. Yeah? Just a reminder, it may be the first time that you're calling a program that is as technological as this one. But even in the analog days, you had to ensure that you lowered the volume in the background when you're calling. You cannot listen for me saying hello, good night on your computer or your television or your radio. You have to listen for me saying hello, good night on your phone. But you're holding the phone in your hand, and you're listening to hear, no, I'm going to hang up. I'm telling you, I'm going to do it. Yeah, I can't speak to myself. So please, just remember, it may be the first time that you're calling a technologically advanced program. So you may not know the proper manner in which to do this. So let's try the phone lines again. Hello, good night. Hello, good night.
Sheldon.
Perfect.
Yes, Sheldon. Good evening. Good evening.
Good evening, my friend.
Yeah, what I want to know is Dr. Keith the Prime Minister of Grenada?
No, he's not. No, he's not. Well, maybe de facto he is. You never know, you know.
Why people only Dr. Keith and NNP, and why is that? Huh? Look, man. Last election gone, NDC come out and they making this whole talk, Dr. Keith get too old. But they can't say that now. Right? They're saying he in there too long. That is what they talk now. And what they think is that they doesn't want him around because they're afraid all them NNP5 people in the house there. But they fear Dr. Keith. They fear him. They doesn't want him around. Especially when this next election come, they want somebody else in there. But Dr. Keith ain't going no way. He's sticking on them like a leech. So when everything busts, I hope none of them will run from Grenada. Otherwise, we extraditing them, no matter where they go. Dr. Keith is the leader of NNP party. Everybody talking about they want to know who is the leader, who is the leader. Dr. Keith is the leader. And I hear these people talking about guns there tonight. They asked Mr. Pierre how much guns they receive in the amnesty. He don't know. 5,000 in Congamate. So he don't know. There's the Prime Minister here, there's the Prime Minister there tonight on the radio about them guns and them. Nobody can tell him. So he don't know neither. We had a Prime Minister in NDC here, so, just so you know. Buffett, he never know. This Prime Minister, he don't know, he never see, nobody never tell him, he never hear. That is all he's saying. So he gonna know one of these days, he gonna know. And I hope I'm wrong when he know. Thank you.
Thank you so very much, caller. Do enjoy the rest of your night. Yes, indeed, folks. 440-7377. That's 440-7377. You know, boy, I didn't realize when I was a government minister, all I had to do is just bring my girlfriend on trip with me and thing. I see there. Stand by your man. Watch, enjoy it while it lasts. Eh? Yeah. People are saying John's can't see you. He's suddenly seen you, though. Yeah. Stand by your man. Watch, let me behave myself. The man does not want to box me down. I'll get that thing already. Me. 440-7377 347-329-310. St. John's people, how are you doing, man? A special good night to you all. When last all you see all your MP? I know it was in Canada the other day. They're in Antigua now. They might be coming back and disappear again. Just you want to know what a real minister of climate resilience and thing does look like? Let me show you what a real minister of climate resilience and all this kind of thing does look like. Let me show you a fella here. All you see this guy that Honorable Deacon Mitchell stand up speaking to here with a kind of look on his face like, boy, how you do that, boy? How you do them thing? Yeah, you see that there right now? Yeah. Who Deacon Mitchell speaking to? That is Mr. Simon Steele. Yes, former Senator the Honorable Simon Steele, who was our Minister for Climate Resilience, brought in hundreds of millions of dollars into Grenada for various projects, be it the blue economy, be it climate resilience, etc. Sayo was the man that went out there and find that. Ask the present minister how much money she has secured with all the traveling she traveling. All they ending up in Egypt and they ending up in France and they ending up in Germany and they ending up in Tanzania and they ending up in Canada and South Central America. The only place I think they go is go and sit down on a stool inside an Eskimo place. That's the only place I feel they ain't go yet. How come they can't come and tell us how much money they come with? Every time you see this gentleman here, every time he come back, he used to come and say to Grenada, we have secured, whether it's 40 million for this, 10 million for this, we have access to funding through here. He used to come back and make reports and tell the Grenadian people. All the press conferences are online. You could go back and see them for yourselves. He was able to go out there and find sources of funding for the people of Grenada. So if Grenada bought a ticket for him to go, which wasn't a regular occurrence because under the Keith Mitchell administration, you had to find the people had to fund your traveling and thinking the government of Grenada is sending you easy unless they're sure that there's a high possibility of you getting funding or support for the country. They're not going to buy a ticket and send it to something just for you to say, well, I went there and the shrimps was nice. No, you have to go there and come back with something. Right? So, when Mr. Simon Steele went out there, as the Minister responsibility for climate and so on, he did such an excellent job that now that he has gone out, of government here in Grenada, the United Nations snap him up. Boy, this guy is good. They snap him up one time. Tell me, all you feel is snapping up the present minister we have? The present minister we have wouldn't even come on a press conference and speak to you, the Grenadian people. They duck in. They ducking and they hiding. Let me see how long they go duck and hide for. Because they refuse to come and speak to the people of Grenada on the important issues of climate change, small island development states in the present climatic conditions that we are experiencing due to global warming, which has us going through a serious dry season here. Man can't get water. But the minister, they trips in all over the place, champagne flowing, shrimps eating. Yeah? I hearing all kind of thing about ministers who just go in meeting, and when they go in one meeting for one session, they wear in one clothing, and they go inside, they change, they come back, it's the next set of clothes. The next session, they go and they change and they come back. I don't know if they're modeling, but they ain't coming back and tell the Grenadian people, we find 10 cents for you, the Grenadian people, for this or that. But I go into this trip, I go into that trip, I run in here, I run in there, but they ain't coming back with anything. And is it necessary? And I want to know, and I think this is something that's important that we need to find out. And this is something that's important that we need to find out. Now, the Prime Minister is traveling with his own cameraman. Let me repeat that. The Prime Minister is traveling with his own cameraman. It seems as though he needs a publicist. So he's traveling with his own cameraman. No problem with that. Who is paying? Who is paying for the per diem? Who is paying for the services? Who is paying for the cost of the tickets? Who is paying for the hotels? Is it us, the Grenadian people, that are paying for an individual that is only there to highlight the Prime Minister and where he go and who he meet? Or is the Prime Minister paying for that out of his own pocket? If he paying for it out of his own pocket, me ain't getting. That's business. But if I had to be paying for it, I have an issue with that. We have a caller online. Hello, good evening.
Hi, good night, Sheldon.
Good night, my brother. Hey, Carriacou.
What's up, my brother? Ziggy is here, man.
Ziggy, what's up, bro?
You know when I call you, know it's shoot thing I come and talk about, isn't it?
Yes, my brother. You go right ahead,
All
man.
right. So, two things we have to talk about tonight, right? The fisheries in Carriacou. They both in the build nice fish market in Windward. The fisheries in Carriacou. They bring up a truck come from Grenada, a big truck to Joby Ice, to bring on the jetty in Hillsborough. That's the old jetty. So when the tuna boat them come, they just pull up and the truck, they throw the ice inside it. Since last week, the truck can't move because why? They can't pay the insurance for the truck. So the truck there, and if you don't have no money, you have to pay a higher taxi or a next truck to bring the ice come for you on the jetty. And the people in Carriacou, they're worried. They got people calling me and they're saying, look what's going on. They can't pay the insurance for the truck. The truck pack up in the ministry in Carriacou there. And no action going on. No action, and they say it's progress. They're saying they're doing great in Carriacou. I did listen to our program all around today. They're saying, oh, they do Bel Air Road. Sheldon Scott, up to today, the road can't even open. Up to today, the road can't open. Up in Bel Air. You have to go to Bel Air, you have to pass all the way to go to Bel Air. They say they do fish market. Look how long they do the fish market. The fish market take 2 years. Since they come in power, they're building the fish market, and up to now it can't finish. And they're celebrating they do fish market. NDC have to do better than that. When they want to score points or they want high ranking thing, they have to do good. They're not ready yet. They're not ready yet. Remember, one of my partners go in the hospital in Grenada. He spent 19 days in the hospital. When you go to the doctor or the nurse and ask them what's going on, they don't want to answer you. Attitude to get in. Attitude to get in from them. They do the operation on the man the Wednesday, he died the Thursday. When you call the hospital, you go to the hospital and ask him question, the attitude they're giving you. And they're talking about progress. They're talking about they're going up forward. But I wonder where Carriacou they, where Grenada they. I think the island, Grenada and Carriacou, they pause. They pause. They're talking about road in Pittimatnik. Up to now, you can't see no road in Pittimatnik. Just the little piece of thing they're doing in Pittimatnik. They want to talk higher and dry with road in Pittimatnik, and they're doing good in Pittimatnik. Pittimatnik now no nurse, they are no doctor. The nurse in Pittimatnik is the doctor. She's the cleaner. She's every single thing. And they're afraid. They're afraid. When they're talking about it, they want to come in the mouth and tell you, shut up. Shut up. Because NDC doing so great. You know who really benefiting out of NDC? Sheldon Scott, the pensioners and them who come from foreign. them who benefiting out of the NDC, because them who have NDC in power. It's them. When I watching the people and them in Carriacou, it's like, oh Jesus, I don't want to say the word, but you know, thing not nice. Thing not nice.
Yes, careful, my friend, careful.
Yeah. My brother, thing not nice. Yeah, nice. And I hate to see people crying. People bawling with the mouth closed for really, you know. People is bawling with the mouth closed, yeah. It's only them alone that having fun. It's them alone that eating and drinking and laba and gala. That's what they're doing. We seen trouble. Carriacou and Pitimatic people is seeing trouble. And we're bawling. I the only one that think that bawl loud because my mouth very big and I'm afraid to bawl because I'm afraid none of them. Things are nice here. And they need to fix that truck because when them boat and them come for ice, they have to hire a van and all the ice melting. Me telling me there are no ice to put in the boat. They need to pay the insurance for the truck and get the truck up and running. Why the sense having this big truck and you can pay insurance, right? And talking about boots on the ground instead for the PS to do his job. He's gonna take sand and symmetry. He and the driver pay the insurance so the truck could drop the ice on the port. That's what they have to do and get it right. They need to get it right and stop making all what this government doing. They making people see trouble. This government is not for poor people. It's for millionaires. You don't have no money, you have to get out of Grenada or you have to dead. That's how they have it. Sheldon, have a good night, and I'm going to give them a report. Every time I get the details, I'm going to be calling you and tell you what's going on in Carriacou. Okay?
And folks,
I'm not afraid to come, but I don't afraid. I'm going to let you know what's going on.
All right, thank you so very much, bro.
Good night.
All right. And folks, that was the weekly report out of Carriacou by our good brother Ziggy. Yeah, let me say a special good night to Peron and Maxan. Yeah? And the rest of the home circuit. No, I can't remember everybody's name. Oh gosh. You're that troublesome brother, day, man. Yeah, Peron, all you. A special good night. I hope you're behaving up there, boy. Nice, right? I hope you're behaving. Maxan, keep him under control up there. Nice. 4407377. Let me say a special good night to my St. Lucian listeners. You know I love each and every one of you. Yeah, I have a special place in my heart for St. Lucia. Yes, indeed. So a good night to all of the St. Lucian listeners and the Catitian listeners. And you know, next thing the Antigans and them start to vex with me and all kind of thing and start to say how I could be bigging up the others. And Aruba, a special good night to you as well. I hope all of you are having a wonderful night tonight. Yeah. You know, I want to play something. Yeah, I feel I want to play something else. Yeah, playing things tonight. We playing things and we talking, isn't it? Yeah, we playing things and we talking tonight. We have to play things and talk. Nice. Let me play this one. Let me see if I can play this one here for you all, man. Yeah, I want to just make a point here. You understand?
That this administration is just about 2 years in its making.
Yeah.
And all of the challenges that, you know, the nation faces at this point, you must ask yourself the question, what was happening over the past 25 years? No, seriously.
Yeah.
And we could also ask ourselves the question, where were you during those 25 years? But I digress.
Continue to have water shortage problems year in, year out over decades. Yeah, I mean, I refer to now...
we continue to have which problems? Let me just make sure which problems you're talking about that you're complaining that we continue to have there.
Yeah.
We continue to have water shortage problems year in, year out over decades. Yeah, I mean, I refer to now Curacao and Aruba.
Yeah.
Very dry.
Yeah.
They're never out of water. Simply because they planned over the many years.
So I think he's making the point that Grenada over the many years has not planned in relation to storing water and them kind of thing, right? I think that's the point that Mr. Terence Forrest is making.
Right.
Every home in Curacao and Aruba has a well.
Yeah. Yeah.
They treat their water from the sea. They don't have a problem. They only get about 15, 20 inches of rain per year.
Wow.
Not out there is real desert land.
Okay.
But it's about the planning that you put in place to sustain your needs over the years.
Okay, so it's a plan you put in place to sustain your needs over the years. Let me just make sure we hear you properly again. We don't want to misquote you. One of the things that we attempt to ensure that we never do is misquote you. Yeah? If we do that, believe us, it is an error that we will correct. Yeah? Nice. So
2 years in its making.
Yeah.
And all of the challenges that, the nation faces at this point, you must ask yourself the question, what was happening over the past 25 years? No, seriously.
Yeah.
We continue to have water shortage problems year in, year out over.
okay, so we continue to have water shortage problems year in, year out. Let me search for something here. I think I want to do a quick search on something because I seem to remember something, but I want to make sure that I remember incorrectly. So let me see if I could remember correctly. Let me see. Yeah, I just running a search on my computer here because I just wanted to confirm something. Yeah, and let me just see if I confirm this. The Board of Directors of the National Water and Sewerage Authority between the years of 2015 and 2017, the same National Water and Sewerage Authority I'm talking about planning, who was the chairman of the board? Mr. Terence Forrester. The same individual was the chairman of the board. Yeah, the same Mr. Terence Forrester was the chairman of the board. Wait, look, papa, yo. Look picture. Yeah, let me see. Yes, the board of directors. This is on the National Water and Sewerage Authority page, yeah, their website. Yeah. Left to them, yeah, Mr. John St. Louis, Mr. Michael Mason, Mrs. Ann David Antwine, chairman, Mr. Terence Forrester. The same person. So what, when you're talking about the last 25 years, like if nothing wasn't taking place, you is the nothing that was taking place because you was the chairman of the board. Yeah? You were the chairman of the board. That's you right there. Look the guy right there. I do line on the man. Let me see if we could save that and bring it up bigger. Yeah, I do line on the man. Yeah, oh good. Look pictures. We papa. Yeah, we go save you right there. Nice. Yeah? A door line on the man. Let me see if we could open that there. Nice. Yeah. Let me see if we could open the thing. We want to make sure as you see it. Yes. So that's the board. That was the board of directors between 2015 to 2017. So when you're talking about the last 25 years, like nothing was going on. Nothing in the state of Grenada was going on in relation to water and how it looks like for the last 25 years, nobody wasn't doing anything. So no storage. They didn't think about storage and they didn't think. You were the chairman of the National Water and Sewerage Authority. You had the responsibility to lead the process and create the policy that ensured the very same thing that you're talking about was achieved. But now you're trying to extricate yourself. You're trying to extricate yourself and lay the blame solely at the foot of others when you were given the opportunity to lead that very same process that you're saying didn't exist. So what did you do between that period of time? What did you achieve during that period of time? Because I hear you talking and getting things now like if, you understand? Sometimes you have to ask yourselves them question. If some people don't realize that the information is still there. Look, we just search and it's still on their website. It's still there. It's still there on the National Water and Sewerage Authority. Let me pull it up again. It's still there on the National Water and Sewerage Authority website. As of today, the chairman of the board of the National Water and Sewerage Authority between the years 2015 to 2017 was the same individual who you see talking on the program there now, like if nothing was done when it came to water conservation in the state of Grenada. Nothing was done. Yeah? So nothing was done. So who had a responsibility out of that 25 years? You had a responsibility for at least 2 of those 25 years. So when do we reduce it to 23 years now? Because you had the direct responsibility as the chairman of the board of directors of the National Water and Sewerage Authority to guide that process. So where's the excuse now? You see, sometimes when people speak, you have to listen to them in context. When they speak, you have to listen to them in context. Because you may not have even remembered that is the same chairman of the board that was speaking here.
That this administration is just about 2 years in its making.
Yeah.
and all of the challenges that, you know, the nation faces at this point, you must ask yourself the question, what was happening over the past 25 years? No, seriously.
Yeah.
We continue to have water shortage problems year in, year out over decades. Yeah, I mean, I refer to now Curacao and Aruba,
Yeah.
very dry.
Yeah.
They're never out of water, simply because they planned over the many years.
Right.
Every home in Curacao and Aruba has a well.
Yeah. Yeah.
They treat their water from the sea. They don't have a problem. They only get about 15, 20 inches of rain.
Remember, that the same person that's still up on our website as the chairman of the board between 2015 to 2017. And if I remember correctly, he may have even been chairman of the board before that, at a period of time before that as well. Up on the website, I could have found that one off the cuff. But I would not be surprised if he had been chairman of the board prior to that as well. And even for a period after that, maybe. Yeah?
For a year.
Wow.
No.
Yeah, so when he's speaking about the last 25 years, just remember to say you were part of the process. Don't leave that part out, Brother Terry.
This administration is just about 2 years in its making.
Yeah.
And all of the challenges that, you know, the nation faces at this point, you must ask yourself the question, what was happening over the past 25 years?
Yeah, what was happening? Folks, you want to know what was happening over the last 25 years? Let me pull it up for you. That is what was happening over the last 25 years. Yeah, that's what was happening over the last 25 years. Anyway, 440-7377-347-329-3101. Those are the numbers for you to get on the inside of tonight's program. You know what, boy? Let me touch a little song. Wait, no move. You can't go from there now. Let me touch a little something.
When your money done, got a God. Your husband gone, got a God. Your boyfriend gone, got a God. Don't know what to do, got a God. And your rent is due, got a God. Your girlfriend gone, got a God. Masa got a God. Masa got a God. Boy. She ain't got a money. She ain't got a hearing. Masa got a God. Boy. Masa got a God. You know hear mama ho, you know hear papa ho. Masa got him a God. Boy. She ain't got a money. She ain't got a giver. Masa got a God. For me got a God. Mighty God is he. A God in the lion den. A God in the Hebrew tongue. Mighty God a God. Mighty God a God. When your money done, don't know what to do.
Yeah, God, yeah.
Husband gone.
Folks, yes, indeed. 440-7377 and 347-329-3101. The numbers for you to get onto the inside. You can also call us on the WhatsApp. Yes, we do accept WhatsApp calls on 440-7377. You know, yeah, kind of one by one are going down tonight. Right. I was listening to the president of the Grenada Union of Teachers on his press engagement on the weekend. Well, I'd say the weekend because it was on Friday. So his engagement with the media. And, well, at least when I said the media, he was on the Grenada Broadcasting Network. Unlike other stations who utilize our footage and who utilize things that come up on this program and refuse to even say the Talking Points program, not Jenny Simon, she always say Talking Points. Yeah? But those other programs on an NNP program. What? I'm afraid of. I'm afraid to call Talking Points name. I'm afraid I'll lose listeners to Talking Points. I'm afraid. Don't be coward. Yeah, don't be lucky and coward. Call the name. Say Talking Points. Yeah? All they want to use the footage from Talking Points and crop out we Talking Points logo and broadcast it and just say on an NNP program up. I'm afraid if I say Talking Points, all the local listeners, all you have to go reach over here. Ah, please, come on, man. All you have to be bigger than that. Yeah, so Grenada Broadcasting Network to the Point program on Friday gone. We're letting you know where the things were said. Let me see if we could go through piece by piece and hear what Brother Jude has to say. Let's hear what Brother Jude has to say about various things, man. Yeah, Brother Jude is an interesting guy.
Into other things. There is a situation there where under negotiations for this contractual period, for the first time, the Grenada Union of Teachers have secured benefits for principals. That's a fringe benefit for our principals through Grenada, Carriacou, and Pitimati. Let's take into consideration, nobody wanted to be a principal in Grenada. We were trying to negotiate this benefit for years, even under previous administration, the last administration. We did not get it. Under this administration, the NDC administration, the government and the Honorable Prime Minister gave it to us with government negotiated team for principals. But to our dismay, and the principals and the GOT, we are baffled since January 2024. We were asking the government of Grenada, the Ministry of Education, the Minister, PSCs, and other persons said that the principals would get their pay and upgrades in January. January come, they didn't get it. February, they said that the documentation and all the things were ready and the money is going to pay to them. Principals waiting. They met with principals, they told them that. That didn't happen. March came, the same runaround. April came, the same thing. We in May, first payment for the fortnightly payments. Up to now, the principals have not received their payments and their upgrades. And it's really and truly shocking. The principals are not happy. The Grenada Union of Teachers are not happy. And we're trying to understand what is really taking the Ministry of Education, the Ministry of Finance so long to do what they have to do when they said that all the documents and everything has been prepared and ready to go. And I would say something here. The government of Grenada, really and truly, when they have given and been so generous in giving the principal that benefit through negotiations, why is it that the government of Grenada should look into this thing, the Ministry of Education, the cabinet, to make sure, because the principals are not happy, they are talking about it. So when government should be celebrating a milestone and achievement, it means that they're going to leave our teachers and our members with sour grapes. And we are seeing here from the Grenada Union of Teachers, we have visited the Ministry of Education on several occasions, asking why. Personnel departments. We visited also the accounts department and all the other places in the Ministry of Education. And we've seen there in the Ministry of Education, we want the nation to take note that it's only the teachers that do not have anybody basically as teachers looking after teachers' business. So who are looking after teachers' business are persons from other unions, persons who do not get that benefit because that is a fringe benefit negotiated by the Grenada Union of Teachers. So we are asking, what did the teachers do wrong? What did the principals do wrong? Is there some sort of jealousy and all the different things there with all the fringe benefits that the teachers are getting? And because other persons are not getting it, are they squeezing the teachers from the Ministry of Education and other places and really and truly making the government of Grenada look bad? So I'm asking the question here. I'm sure that the Honorable Deacon Mitchell and other persons...
So after all he say, this is where now he come to defend the party. So listen to him good, eh? Listen, let me just pull it back at a second or two. After all he said, now he go in and defend. You have to defend the party. You have to defend your party. Nobody defend your party. Go right ahead, brother. Yeah, nice.
I'm sure that the Honorable Deacon Mitchell and other persons from cabinet will not be happy to know that the principals and other persons who serve and do what basically they have to do for education in this country and knowing that they are struggling to get their benefits. And we take note of that from the Grenada Union of Teachers.
So is he trying to say that the Prime Minister and the ministers don't know what's going on? That they don't know that the principals ain't getting the money? There's a difference between don't know and don't care, you know. There's a large chasm of difference between don't know and don't care. Don't know is a far distance away from don't care, right? So there's a difference between don't know. Because if they don't know, then I might have to play that song for them. I don't know. I might have to play that for them because how you could be in charge? As he himself said, they visited the ministry several times. They visited the ministry several times. So you tell me the minister don't know? You're telling me that the prime minister and the cabinet does not know? There are no principals living within their constituencies? Come on, man, Jude. Get better. Come better than that, man. Oh, gosh. Now, you had to go to a critical thinking class or something. But anyway.
And we are saying here that we are unhappy. And if those things continue to happen, we're watching the end of this month to see if this benefit will be paid. So we call in and the government of Grenada, the Ministry of Education, and all the other parties involved, because we would not just be talking about it for a length of time and a long period of time, and the GOT will have to take action in this matter. So we ask the Ministry of Education and government of Grenada to take note.
All right, take note earlier, right? Yeah, and they ain't gonna just be talking about it. I see. Yeah, you ain't gonna strike no way. Come on, please. Strike under your government. That ain't happening. That ain't happening. We know that ain't happening, but you see the thing. Yeah, and let me just make this statement too. I referred earlier to programs that broadcast footage from here and do not give credit. Let me give credit to the Bob Report. The Bob Report is one organization that calls. They don't just message, they call. And they say, hey, you had this person on last night or that person on last night. Can I use that footage, please, with credit? And when they put it up with talking points on it. When Miss Jenny Simon uses footage from here, she puts it up with talking points on it. But like all the others afraid for talking points logo to show and to say anything. But anyway, I'm back to my good friend Jude. Let's go to the thing here again. Let me hear what else he had to say. Let me hear what else he had to talk about and what he had to say. We listening Jude tonight, man. Yeah. Because to me, like brother Jude does be confused whether he's supporting, he ain't supporting the government, whether the government doing good or the government doing bad, whether he's a trade unionist or he's not a trade unionist. He seems to be a confused individual. Because here you have a trade unionist that has basically called for the removal of workers based on their political stance. Nothing else. Yeah? When you can walk with a placard on Labor Day, basically calling for the firing of people based on their political stance, their political belief, and they're perceived, you don't know, when they go in that polling station and they have that slip in front of them and the pencil in their hand. You don't know where they make the mark before they fold that paper and they put it into the box. You don't know. And as such, it is only a perception that these individuals have a particular political leaning. And even if they have a particular political leaning, they have all right to have it. The Constitution guarantees them the right to have it. And then you call yourself a trade unionist and go and call for the expulsion of these people because they have a particular political leaning. And then, my problem with that is that the other trade unions don't call him out publicly the same way he could walk with the placard on May Day. The same way he could be making these statements publicly. The other unions should be calling him out. The Public Workers Union, you, Mr. Brian Grimes, and the rest of the executive should be calling him out. Is all your workers he calling on to be fired? All your members he accusing his ministry, his union getting too much benefits, and all your union don't getting, so all you jealous them. Who else working in the ministry? Handling the finances is public workers. So he's accusing the public workers of jealousy for the Grenada Union of Teachers, and therefore that's why the documentation or whatever that should be done for these workers to receive the benefits that has been given to them is not being done. And all you sit down there quiet, all you ain't defending all your workers? Come on, man, something on there. Come on, seriously. Really and truly and seriously, man. Yeah? So let's hear him there again.
More to put out now, more heat in the kitchen. So we calling on the administration again because the cooks always complaining and cleaners in school that the salary that they receive is not really right. They have no job security and such, and pension. So pension reform, as we're going to talk about it quickly.
So yeah, so I thought it was me alone that the cooks.
If you look at it, the previous administration, they did what they had to do for basketball and other
No, I think I go on to the wrong one now. Yeah, but let me hear what you had to say about this particular issue as well, too, man.
The basketball courts all over the country. I want to speak for the persons, the young people. If you look at it, the previous...
Jude, don't let Andy Williams hear you saying that. Last time, Honorable Emlyn Pierce speak about the state of basketball court, Andy Williams tell her plain out she can't talk about that all basketball court fixing. But you are involved in youth work as a teacher and as the head of the teacher, so you know what you're seeing out there. Yeah, you might be seeing some of your students that you taught hanging out in different places. So let's hear what he had to say about that particular one, and then we'll come back to the next one.
Courts all over the country. I want to speak for the persons, the young people. If you look at it, the previous administration, they did what they had to do for basketball and other facilities. Right now in Grenada, all over the country, you see the basketball courts and those things falling apart. And I want to put a word for the young people in Maki. And the reason why I say that, this is a place where you see a lot of young people congregate all the time.
But that's the same place that Andy Williams caused the Honorable Emlyn Pierre for talking about the state of the Maki basketball facility. If you could call it that now, because I don't know what it is right now. Yeah? But anyway, let me hear.
Evening you pass and you see a lot of young men there, but the basketball court is not in operation, and it could lead to frustration because sports is something would help for the development of our young people. So I'm calling on the administration, yes, they're doing well, but to go around the country and to try to fix the basketball.
But who tell he this administration doing well? By what measuring stick he measuring that this administration is doing well? Jude? Come on, man. If you're giving them lash, give them lash. Don't kind of half give them lash and then you gain them praise on the other end. What doing well? If they were doing well, the Marquee basketball facility would not have deteriorated the way it deteriorated over the last 2 years and end up in the way that it is. There were political meetings held by the NDC candidate during the year 2022 in that facility. It was not the way it is now. They allowed it to degrade to what it is right now. So what good work they're doing?
The administration, yes, they're doing well, but to go...
They're doing well where? They're doing well for themselves and the pocket.
Around the country and to try to fix the basketball courts and other sports facilities so young people have a way of, in terms of with anger and all the other things, to bring out the stress and to alleviate. And take note of Maki, because you've seen a lot of young people there all the time and they already have that avenue to do.
All right, so we thank you for joining in the conversation in relation to ensuring that Marquee is properly repaired so that the young men who are in Marquee will have a proper facility for them to be able to utilize. We thank you for joining in that conversation. Let me see what's this one now. Let me just make sure. No, we have him.
A wonderful job. They have more to put out now.
Let me see. Yeah, let me hear, because I thought the cooks and the cleaners were only talking to me about the fact that they are not receiving the monies that they should receive. So let me hear from the president of the Grenada Union of Teachers, yeah? Although I don't think they represent the cooks and the cleaners, but the cooks and the cleaners in the educational facilities, and therefore, maybe they need to switch unions and go over to the Grenada Union of Teachers. Yeah, Jude? Maybe they need to switch, boy. Let me hear what I had to say there.
Job. They have more to put out now, more heat in the kitchen. So we calling on the administration again, because the cooks always complaining and cleaners in school that the salary that they receive is not really right. They have no job.
Not really right? It is not right. You're so trying to hide for the government. Just say it's not right. The salary they're receiving is not correct. According to the new schedule that is out, yes, in relation to minimum wage, the cooks and the cleaners are being underpaid. It is a fact. Yeah, it is a fact that they are being underpaid according to what was put in place in January of this year. Yeah, don't say it. Yeah, just be clear, be straight with it now, man. We know you have to try and shade the thing and hide your government and protect your government and that kind of thing. You see, that's what's all you don't interfere with me. I have a whole year to deal with all you. Yeah, go right ahead.
Again, because the cooks always complaining and cleaners in school that the salary that they receive is not really right. They have no job.
Not really right. It is not right. It is not right. They're receiving the wrong salary. They're receiving under the minimum wage.
Cleaners in school that the salary that they receive is not really right. They have no job security and such, and pension. So pension reform.
I tell you, the gentleman is confused. I believe he confused. Yeah, he don't know if he coming or going, if he climbing or he climbing up or climbing down. He don't know what he doing. He kind of confused. Yeah, he's kind of, well, not just kind of confused. He confused. Yeah. 440-737-347-329-3101. Those are the numbers for you to call and get on to the inside.
The basketball courts all over the country. I want to speak.
No, that's the same one, man. Yeah, that's the same one that we played a while ago. Let me see what this last one was about here. What this is about here?
Somehow in the Ministry of Education, they are squeezing the teachers. And the teachers for...
Who's squeezing the teachers? The Ministry of Education? The teachers are being squeezed? But that is a criminal offense, and that is assault. Let me hear.
Somehow in the Ministry of Education, they are squeezing the teachers. And the teachers frustrated because we voted for change. The teachers never voted for those sort of things that come in upon...
They voted for change, so they voted for the NDC. Is that what you're claiming, that teachers vote for the NDC? You went in the polling station and watched where each teacher vote? Not because you had the Zoom calls immediately before the general election. I'm talking about 2-3 days before. You had this multiplicity of Zoom calls where you had various teachers from all the schools that you would get in and encourage them to vote out the new National Party. And during that period of time as well, that you made several media appearances calling on all teachers to vote out the NNP. I mean, I'm sorry for keeping your mouth like that. But anyway, yeah, for voting out the NNP. Yeah, you did that several times. I mean, to each his own. You could support whichever political party you want to support. But don't tell people, fire people because they're supportive of the new National Party. Anyway, let me fix them out.
The teachers. And the teachers frustrated because we voted for change. The teachers never voted for those sort of things that come in upon them now with frustration from the Ministry of Education. These are the things that we got from the previous administration. And we come in and get it now. Even worse. And what we're saying is that...
You come in and get it now? How much? I thought you said they're doing a good job. You just said they're doing a good job. You're getting what? The frustration and thing? You're getting it how? Let me see how you're getting it. Yeah.
From the Ministry of Education, these are the things that we got from the previous administration, and we come in and get it now. Even worse. And what we're saying is that, and we observe, is that this administration, new administration, is an administration that is pure labor.
That is pure what? They're trying to bust the trade union. Listen, how he qualify as a trade unionist? Really and truly, how he qualify as a trade unionist? You have a government that is actively busting unions. Whether the unions recognize it and can't be bothered, or whether they recognize it and they are powerless to deal with it. For instance, the Public Workers Union is being put into a position that they can't call any strike. That is what is happening. They are being placed in a position that they cannot call any strike. That when they call a strike, people ain't going to bother with them. Because they go say the benefits that we received over the last 2 years, all those benefits came directly from Mr. Deacon Mitchell and the NDC. It didn't come from you. So they're going to say every benefit that we got had nothing to do with the union or the union leadership. And if the union leadership don't insert themselves and assert themselves, so they have to insert themselves and assert themselves, they will be left without cojones. Yeah, they wouldn't be able to do anything. Because what is happening is that the present administration, piece by piece, creep by creep, is making the workers, whether they be teachers, whether they be nurses, whether they be doctors, they are making them beholden to the political directorate and not the union as their representative. And that is clear. When the Prime Minister and his attaché, the ASB lady there, Andrea St. Bernard, and them could go and meet with the doctors in the different health facilities around without even the then Minister of Health around. Go and meet in those different facilities and then promise them an increase. They get their increase without the union saying a word, and the union hear about the increase when the government announce it. When they could go to the nurses and say, hey, we're giving you all an increase, without going through their bargaining agent, their union. They're busting the union. And if you don't understand that, then you don't understand basic labor. So when you come and saying that this government is pro-labor, what have they done that proves that they are pro-labor? And don't tell me anything about pension, because you know I will say on that. Don't come and tell me nothing about no pension. This government had nothing to do with no pension. I said there was data paid. Right.
Workers, they're not anti-worker. They're not anti-teacher. So I'm positively sure that the honor...
If they're not anti-worker, anti-teacher, okay. Where are the permanent employment that they promised to you all within the first year? Where's the permanent employment? How many teachers have been regularized? All the teachers are regularized now because they said contract work is illegal. So I don't expect any teacher to be operating now within any teaching facility in Grenada on a contract, because the words of the now Prime Minister were that contract work is illegal. Yeah? So anyway, let me hear you, Teacher Jude.
Deacon Mitchell and some of his cabinet members would not basically be happy with what they are hearing, because they don't want that. I know the government, the Prime Minister wants...
So you're basically saying they have no control over what's going on in the ministry, so they don't like what they're hearing. So they ain't who in control of the ministry then, if they're not in control of the ministry? Who in control of the ministries? They ain't gonna like what they hear. Stupid inside. That could have never happened under Dr. Mitchell Olimara. Joke on me.
Peace. He wants industrial harmony and everything in the nation. So we asking...
And let me say this. You hear this statement? It's a very dangerous statement in any civilized society. This particular statement.
Because they don't want that. I know the government, the Prime Minister want peace. He wants industrial harmony and everything in the nation.
That means that you're willing to sell out. You're willing to give more than you're supposed to give to the detriment of everybody else. That you are willing to compromise what you should not compromise in order to appease the workers so that they don't strike. And if workers know that and they band themselves together, then you in for real problems. Because if they ask you for a 10% increase and you don't get a 10% increase because you want peace and you want harmony, you're going to try to negotiate and say, well, okay, instead of the 10%, let me try and give all you a 9, let me try and give all you a 8, or let me try and give all you a 7. When you know that the country cannot afford to do that. You're simply trying to appease. And this quote-unquote trade union leader, because I don't believe he's a trade unionist, I believe he's a political functionary with the face, well, let me leave his face alone. Well, he's a political functionary who is acting as though he's a trade unionist. That is my personal belief of the individual. You don't have to buy into my belief. That is my sheldon belief of what he is. But he is simply just trying to deflect and defend his administration. Blame everybody else but the people in charge. Then what they in charge for? Are they in charge? How could you have a situation where you're saying that the Prime Minister and them don't know what's going on? People ain't getting paid. This ain't happening. Contracts ain't being done. And they don't know what's going on. Nonsense. Absolute unequivocal nonsense. Anyway, folks, we're running into the final 15 minutes of tonight's program. You all have the opportunity to call into the program. I think I'm done with Jude. Yeah, I too much of Jude on my program tonight. Nah, yeah, I think I'm done with Jude for tonight, boy. Nah. I ain't paying that face back on me. I don't pretty either, you know. I don't pretty. 440-7377-347-329-3101. Those are the numbers for you to get onto the inside. Those of you wondering what's going on with my good friend Prince and the classroom, it should be back tomorrow. It should be back tomorrow. Look out for the classroom tomorrow, right? So the classroom should be up and running tomorrow. Look out for the classroom tomorrow, right? Nice. You know, some folks asked me to play this one again because, okay, let's take the call here. Hello, good night. Oh, sorry.
Calling on the program.
Hi, good night. Yes, sir.
Yes. I listened to the gentleman from the trade union movement.
Well, he's supposed to be from the trade union movement. I ain't too sure.
I think he needs to sit down and listen to himself, or the executive of the teachers union need to sit down with him and listen to himself. It's the first time in history in Grenada a union leader is calling for the head of sister union members. I was disappointed and surprised that the public workers didn't take him to the TUC, because obviously that's the first rule. If a sister union is straightening on you, you take them to the TUC. Grenada have a very good track record where union is concerned. In the Caribbean, we have a very good track record. This individual openly called for the head of union members. Now the individual is saying that the government don't know what's going on. Well, if government ministers don't know what is going on, it's not them to be blamed. Then who is calling the shot? Now, this is the second time when we had the Somora agreement. The Prime Minister said he did not read the agreement. He didn't say, I didn't study the agreement, because you could read something 3-4 times and you don't study it. He couldn't comment on the agreement because he didn't read it. So he commented on what the Catholic priest said in Trinidad. And the foreign minister was vehement. He seems that he was touched. He spoke passionately about contradicting the Constitution. And while these two men was doing that, the agreement was already signed. I genuinely believe the Prime Minister did not give the authority. So it means we have a third party dictating our foreign policy. And now the trade union leader is saying the Prime Minister and his team don't know what's going on. So it seems like there's somebody calling the shot. Either the teachers' union leader is disoriented and the teachers is embarrassing this country. They should have a caucus with their leader to find out if he needs psychiatric treatment. Because the statements he makes is an embarrassment to unions. It must, some of Grenada have had great trade union leaders. And they must be sitting down and wondering, well, what happened to us? How we come so? I'm so disappointed in the union, the attitude they take. Nothing is wrong if unions support a political party. Jamaica, Barbados, etc. The Grenada Maritime Mental Workers, nothing is wrong with that. But you support a political party to seek your union or workers' interest. This gentleman's was a wrong when the women of Carriacou and other people who work 3 to 19 years with government lost their job. And they said nothing. And now you hear this kind of mumbo-jumbo, disoriented statements. It must disturb the trade union leaders of yesterday. Thank you, my brother.
Thank you so very much, my brother. You enjoy, and just remind people what time you're on tomorrow.
I am hoping to be on between 12 and 1. I had some challenges today, and tomorrow is a tough day. I'm hoping, I have an appointment in St. George's, and I'm hoping to reach up back 12 o'clock.
Okay.
I'm really hoping to reach there.
We're looking forward because we miss you today.
Yes,
right.
and I had a number of calls, particularly from out of the island.
Yes. We look forward to the program on a daily basis.
Yes.
All right. Thank you so very much, Mr.
Yes,
Pierre.
my brother. Thank you. Always, when I don't get to listen to you live, I go back.
Okay.
Yes. All right, brother.
Thank you so very much. Honored.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yes, indeed. I'm speaking to Mr. Pierre there. Yes. So you can look forward to his program tomorrow on 91.9, 91.5. Yeah. So that's from roughly 12. Yeah. You should be looking forward for that program. Nice. 440-7377-347-329-3101. And this one is from last week, but someone asked me to replay it tonight because they don't believe what they heard last week. So they want to make sure it's that they heard. So let's see.
Obviously, as I said, there's a brand new area that we are venturing into. A lot of work is going on in the creative economy. We have a small staff, and we are hoping to build that staff. As a matter of fact, the staff in itself do not have a home as yet. We are trying to put a home together for that staff. They are all working remotely and they're working at home. But
yeah, and that's the part. They keep asking, but how come you could have a department of government that has been in existence for nearly 2 years and they don't have an office? So you tell me in that space of time, you were able to relocate the Ministry of Finance over to the old W.E. Julian building. There are places all over town that are there for rent, etc. You have space in different government buildings. Remember, it was the words of the present Prime Minister when he was in opposition that basically is nonsense to go and be renting place. And so when government have place, and you couldn't find a place for the creative industry in no government building nowhere around, so that these people have been operating from home. And even while they're operating from home, let me hear what they're doing from home.
The applications are coming in, especially for the concession program that we have. We have people applying.
So we will say they could send it via the internet. They could send the applications in, ain't it? They don't have to physically bring a paper thing in. They could send it in via the internet. So we go admit that, right? Nice.
For concession in terms of developing the ideas and developing the program. Now, when that
just take a note here that concessions are done through the Ministry of Finance, not through the creative, not through any other ministry. Ministry of Finance, right? Okay, great.
That happens, we will call in the individual, interview.
You're going to call in an individual. You don't have an office, people working from home, but you're calling in an individual. Where you're calling in the individual to? Where are you calling the individual into? You have said that there is no office. You have said the people are working from home, but yet still, when you get the applications from them, which we will say that you can get online, after you get the applications online, then you are going to call them into where, the parking lot? Call them into a restaurant to have a meeting? Where you calling them in? You don't have an office. You have said that you don't have an office, everybody working from home. And it didn't say some people working from home, so we could have thought that, hey, there are two people in an office here. There's one person who is a receiving officer that's at some facility within the Ministry of Culture. They have an office there or something. Nothing like that. But these people are working from home. Like, we go find out where's the salary, you know. We go out to find out where's the salaries. Yeah.
The video, find out what ideas he or she has.
Let me just say it again, because we don't want to misquote you. Right?
There's a brand new area that we are venturing into. A lot of work is going on in the creative economy. We have a small staff, and we are hoping to build that staff. As a matter of fact, the staff in itself do not have a home as yet. We are trying to put a home together for that.
So we heard that they do not have a home. They're trying to put a home together for them. 2 years and a couple $1 million later, they're trying to put a big multi-million-dollar launch. They're still trying to put together a home for them. Nice. Okay.
That staff, they are all working remotely and they're working at home.
And don't vex with my people in the creative economy, you know. I fighting for all you to get our office, eh? I you fighting for all you to get our office, right? Let's make sure the chairman of the board in this instance is not the people that they order the office chairs and table and thing. We will talk about that one another day.
But the applications are coming in, especially for the concession program.
Let me just get the part that everybody is working from where?
All staff, and we are hoping to build that staff. As a matter of fact, the staff in itself do not have a home as yet. We are trying to put a home together for that staff. They are all working remotely and they're working at home.
Right, so they're all working from home, right?
A home together for that staff. They are all working remotely and they're working at home. But the applications are coming in, especially for the concession program that we have.
Yeah, anyway, someone just asked me to make sure and clarify and play that again this week, yeah, because they wanted to be sure that they did hear what they thought they heard last week. All right, so folks, tomorrow night, we are going to do a deep dive into the Grenada Invitationals. I must let you all know that in the very first itineration and second of the Grenada Invitationals, I was on the LOC, the Local Organizing Committee, as the government representative. So I'm aware of the Grenada Invitational and what it took to get the Grenada Invitational off the ground and what took place, yeah? So I was a member of the original LOC, Local Organizing Committee, as government representative back in the days. Yeah, and it is a sad thing to see the message that went out this evening from the board of directors of the Grenada Invitational. Not only are they postponing, and some people are asking, well, you buy the ticket already, you'll be refunded. So that not only are the Grenada Invitationals being cancelled, not postponed, not it coming the next time, it is being cancelled. Totally. Last year it was postponed. It was supposed to happen last year. It didn't happen last year. And we might even have to get into discussions in relation to that. I will try and find out some more info. Right? But the Grenada Invitationals have been cancelled. It means that in an Olympic year, when Team Grenada has one of the best opportunities ever to win more than one medal at the Olympic Games. Best opportunity because you have world ranking athletes who comprise the tip of the spear going into the Olympic Games. You have Karani James. I think he's ranked number 5 in the world right now in the 400 meter. Yeah? I think he has the 7th fastest time ever. So you have Karani James. You have Mr. Anderson Peters. Yeah? Double world champion. And recently had a throw there in the high 80s. So you know what's going on for the Olympic Games once he continues on that trajectory. And both of these individuals were supposed to be competing here in Grenada next week. Huh? Then, on top of that, you've also had, I believe, Mr. Kurt Felix, and you had several other international athletes that were confirmed to be here next week. You also had an opportunity where all the former Olympians who represented Grenada would have been here and would have gotten their opportunity to be together. That would have been the first time you brought all the people who were Olympians and went out there on behalf of Grenada. It would have been the first time you had all of them together in one place. There's no other time that has happened. That opportunity is now gone. The opportunity for Grenadians to see their Olympic part of their Olympic team in action here in Grenada, for the people of St. John, everybody, but in particular the people of St. John who wanted to come down and see Karani James, that opportunity has now been lost. The story has to be told. Tomorrow night, tune in early to Talking Points. We're going down the road of the Grenada Invitational. We're having an extensive discussion in relation to the Grenada Invitational tomorrow night. Folks, that's all the time we have for Talking Points tonight. It's been wonderful being here with you. In everything you say and do it safe and secure. I want to be speaking to and with you, folks. I find all you forget the donation thing. I find everybody forget donations. Not even a look at $5. No donations. All right. But anyway, it is on the website. It is on the Facebook, everything. You can make your donations, whether it's $5, $10, $15, $20, $25, whatever it is. You can make your donations to Talking Points. We do have things that we must do. Yeah, you realize the audio is a lot clearer today. You realize that the callers are hearing us and we are hearing the callers and you are hearing the callers. That is because you all have helped to get it to that stage. Yeah? So the donations are important. Whether it's 5, 10, 50, 20, you could donate 100, whatever you can. Hit the link, make your donation. Yeah? So that can help us to improve the quality of the program, but also for us to expand the program. Yeah? So please, if you can, make your donations. If you can't, we don't expect you to if you can't. But if you can, and you have a $5 to spare, you have a $10 to spare, whatever it is, go on to the page, make your donation. All right, folks? As I said, that's all the time we have for tonight. Just remember, you know what, man? Yeah, let me play one. I'll play this song and I'll dedicate it to our present Prime Minister, you know. Yeah, I'll dedicate this to our present Prime Minister.
Cleanse me from it.
if you are a leader and you lead because of power, if you take away from the poor man and you leave them just to suffer, oh, if your life not in line with the will of God, you must learn the searchlight inward. If you want to make it into heaven, my friend, live right and serve the Lord. Oh, if you are a leader and you lead because of power, if you take away from the poor man and you leave them just to suffer, oh, if your life not in line with the will of God, you must learn the searchlight inward. If you want to make it into heaven, my friend, live right and serve the Lord. Oh, if you are a leader and you lead because of power, if you take away from the poor man and you leave them just to suffer, oh, if your life not in line with the will of God, you better serve the searchlight inward. And if you want to make it into heaven, my friend, live right and serve the Lord. Search me, oh God, and know my heart. Yes. Try me, oh Savior, know my thoughts, I pray. See if there be some wicked ways in me. Oh, cleanse me from every sin and set me free. If you are a leader and you lead because of power, if you take away from the poor man and leave them just to suffer, oh, if your life not in line with the will of God, you must learn the searchlight inward. And if you want to make it into